Krauthawk. I've got my bass. I've got the Standard of Excellence Book 1. It's the bass version of the book. And so we've learned our first 3 notes on page 6. And now we're moving to page 7. And page 7 takes those 3 notes and it puts them in different rhythms and gets us good and familiar with those notes. All right, so here we go. Number 8, Breath of Fresh Air, starts on our open D.
1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, number 9. This time we're doing the same rhythmic pattern, 2 whole notes, but we're going to move notes in between those 2 notes. So we're not going to play the same note twice in a row. So let's give it a try, starting with our D, open D, side by side.
1, 2, ready, play.
All right, number 10, same basic idea. You've got different notes in different order.
One, 2, ready, play.
Okay, number 11 introduces half notes. So now we're just plucking 3 notes in a row. They're 2 counts each, and then resting for 2 counts, mostly. Last 2 measures, there's a different rhythm there, so just watch for that. It's always good to remind students when they're starting out, you should be watching the notes as you're playing them and sort of tracking across the page with that note. Not everybody thinks to do that right off the bat. It's very much a skill that you can be a little bit good at already, but get better if you practice. It can be a skill that you're not very good at and get a lot better because you practice and work on it. So it just depends on how much you practice, right? Let's go to number 11.
Number 11.
Start on your open D.
1, 2, ready, play.
Okay, on to number 12. Number 12 is the first song that sort of has a melody to it. So we're taking our 3 notes and moving them around in sort of a melodic way. You'll notice that a lot of notes move in steps. So you move from the lowest note to the middle note, or the middle note to the high note. And then right at the end, they skip a note and they go from the high note all the way down to the low note. So if you're thinking of them as being like high and low, that's probably helpful at first. Eventually, you want to be learning the names of them as well as where they are on the staff. If somebody asks you, hey, what note was that? You don't go, is this note, especially if you don't have a bass in your hand. Hey, what note is that? Well, that's a B flat. So you need to know eventually how to communicate that with your friends and your teachers and stuff. So here we go, number 12. Half notes mostly and whole notes. Count and dampen.
1, 2, ready, play.
good one because as you're moving up and down those notes in different ways, you have to figure out, manage how to dampen one note while playing the other one. Sometimes it's as simple as when you're changing strings, if you're holding a B flat and about to go to a D, well, if you let go of that B flat with your left hand, it stops, right? You don't have to dampen it over here to make it stop. So what you can do is you can be playing the next note, the D, getting ready to play it. And watch this, when you lift your hand, it stops. Sometimes you get extra noise, which is a bummer. If you can really lift it quietly, softly, then that works, to just dampen it, to lift it up like that. But even then, sometimes you get a little extra noise when your finger comes away from it. So you're actually, what's cool is if you're plucking the D string, your finger probably ends up somewhere around the A string. And if you just kind of learn to do that, not where you're thumping it, but where you're just resting it there, then that's a good way of dampening quickly as well. So then literally the full combination, right, is you go from the B flat up to the D, then you're doing two things. You're lifting here and you're dampening here right after you pluck. So it conveniently takes that sound out. And that's the smooth sound you want going from note to note, and not have extra strings ringing to interfere with the sound of that note. Okay. All right, so we have a duet, number 13. So I'll play both parts. We'll do them one right after another. So we'll go ahead and try it. First time will be the A part. Second time will be the B part. Moving around in our first three notes.
Number 13, two for the show, duet. You play the A part while listening to the B part. 1, 2, ready, play.
Here's the B part.
1, 2, ready, play.
All right, last song on the page, Go for Excellence. I like to use this for a quiz or for a chair challenge or chair placement tool because it's a good combination of, it not only is mixing up our three notes in different orders, but it's also giving you some varied rhythms. So you're not getting the same rhythm sort of repeated several times. So really requires you to have gotten good also at the skill of reading and not just actually physically playing the notes. So we'll see how well we have done. Number 14, Go for Excellence.
Number 14.
Starts on our B flat.
1,
First fret,
2,
string,
ready,
2.
play.
All right, nice job. We will see you on the next page, okay? Bye.